Hey yo, Adesanya from
Rama Suman speaking.
StopHoldingBack.com.
Stop holding back.
Just do it.
Just do it, guys.
Okay, this video is about John Harrison's Hexagon, yeah? You know what? There's not a video on this, and I think this topic is super important. It's all about the psychological. And me and Ramash, one of my mentors, are going to talk about it.
Yes, of course, I think John Harrison's Hexagon is a really important concept because it can help anybody really, stammerers or anybody else, because these are the steps that we have to overcome to become more better at what we are than what we are today.
Yeah. I think the Hexagon not only applies to people who stammer, but could apply to anyone in life, in any situation. That's my opinion. But we're going to focus on how to apply the Hexagon to a person who stutters, which is what it was intended for in its original form.
Yeah, because as stammerers, that's what we are, and we know how this can be applied to our lives, and our lives are people who stammer in the real world and who are also known as people who stammer or persons with a stammer.
Yeah. So who was John Harrison, Ramash?
John Harrison was a great American psychologist who has influenced many people like Dave McGuire. He's influenced many other people in the stammering world. Probably a lot of speech therapists have heard of him. He's a really great thinker who's really changed the world of stuttering to me.
Yeah, and hopefully I will get the opportunity to interview him. We're in talks right now, but John is a very busy guy, and he's pretty old as well. Don't get offended, John.
Yeah, but no, he supports us, and
he supports us, yeah.
Agrees with us in principle, so that's great.
Okay, so John Harrison's Hexagon, what is it? It's a six-sided shape, a hexagon, with 6 points. The first point is what, Ramash?
Intentions.
Second?
One may have intentions. Second part is behavior. Then emotions, perceptions, beliefs, and physical responses state.
And all of these points interact with each other. They are all interdependent. If one goes down, goes up, the others follow through.
Yeah, because the thing is, but to me the most important points are intention and behavior. If we don't have the right intentions, I don't think we can behave in the right manner. And if we've got problems, we must have intentions to basically work on the things that we need to. For us, it's our stammer. And my intention when I joined this program was that I had the intention to become a better speaker. So I had to find behaviors which helped me become better speakers, such as learning initially how to use physical weapons, and also to work on my inner self, and also to keep in touch with some of the great people that I have on the telephone.
So let's break
and
down.
in person.
Yeah. So let's break down each point so the viewers understand what each point means. Then we can talk about how they interact and how we can use it to better our speech. So let's talk about intention. What does intention mean in terms of someone who stammers?
Intention is broken down by its root word, which is intent. With intent, we must set ourselves goals on what we must achieve. And like I've said before, my intentions were to become a better speaker. So I had to find intent to actually do it and set myself goals in order to achieve it. And these goals led to behavior.
Yeah, intentions are key. You really have to understand and get to know why you're doing something and have a purpose, a meaning behind your action. Your intention is key, integral to your results. If you don't have the right intention, the right reason, a big enough why you're doing something, everything else will fail. So intention is very, I can't stress it enough, very important to have the right intention and the right attitude to execute that intention. The next point, are you going to cover it?
Intentions are goals.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing is the root word, which is intent.
Yeah.
And intent means to actually do something. So you must have intent to work on your speech, eat less Big Macs, I don't know. Whatever it must be set as intentions.
Okay, the next point is emotions. What does emotions mean?
Emotions to me is having the right attitude. And to me, having the right attitude is to go out in the real world and really work on my speech. So I think emotions are really, you've got to be really a positive thinker. And also, I think having the right attitude or having the right emotions can really help you.
Yeah. Emotions. So, as a person who stammers, when we want to speak, we have this emotion of fear. So, the first stage is awareness. Acknowledge you've got this fear. That's your emotions, and that's negative. So that's going to pull down everything else. So, when we say emotions is how you're feeling when you enter a speaking situation. That's emotions in terms of the hexagon. How you're feeling.
Because as stammerers, I think, or as stammerers who I've met, I think people are thinking negatively about themselves and really worried about what people think, and I think that affects their emotions. They can get really brought down in the real world, and they start to worry, and they can really become vulnerable by themselves, and I think that can really impact and can make your stammers worse, because then you get yourself into a psychological process which goes round and round and round. And it's hard to break that.
Which leads to our next point, which is perceptions, which we're talking about. See, it's very difficult to separate the points because they're all related, but let's talk about perceptions, Ramesh.
Perceptions are important. Everybody thinks that, for example, we are basically enemies of ourselves because we think that other people perceive us as being very different to what we actually are. Like, if you've got a stammer, for example, you going out in the real world can really think that everybody thinks you're a stammerer. But really, people don't really care about you having a stammer. And I think once you believe that, I think it can be really useful to yourself, or useful in your inner self to overcome something. So don't worry about what people think. Worry about what you are and what your purpose is, rather than what somebody may think of you, because that can lead to you impacting yourself. And one of the purposes of the video is to help people overcome things like stammering.
Yeah. In my opinion, perception is weighted. It's weighted heavily more than the others because it has such a massive impact, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. How you view yourself is very important. If you view yourself as weak, unconfident, emotional, useless, vulnerable, that will reflect on your outer world. How you feel on the inside is always reflected in the physical, in the outer world. So because you feel so down, so negative about yourself, you're not going to give yourself a chance. You're not. Your perception of yourself is bad, which means you will think other people have also a bad perception of you, which will make you stammer more. You're like in a cage. So perception, how you view yourself, is fundamental. It's key. You must work on yourself.
I think another thing, for example, is perception, is that definitely with like some women and girls growing up, I think when they look at those glamour magazines, they're made to become like those people, and I think that can really impact how girls and women can look at the world. And also, it's a problem with stammerers because I think as stammerers we may think that the world wants us to become better speakers or want us to become fluent speakers, but really I don't think the world actually cares about us becoming better speakers. They just care about us being us. So don't let anything affect you. Don't let magazines or TV or society impact you, because I think we should be greatly thinking of ourselves as being great individuals, and to be individuals who can actually have a purpose in our life, you know, and to really go out there. And I don't think people will ever think about us as being stammerers, to be honest, because I've done as many contacts as we have, as many people as we met, all of them have said we don't care about you having a stammer. So,
and even if you do care about your stammer, you can't get rid of that thought. I have a stammer, it affects me. You can own it. You can say, I have a stammer. My perception of myself is I am a person who stutters, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going for it. Your perception is key. But anyway, what's the next? point.
Beliefs.
Beliefs. So what are beliefs? Your beliefs.
What do you believe in?
It's your subconscious mind. It's your beliefs. Oh my God, I can talk forever. Beliefs control your actions. You're not what you think in your mind, your conscious mind. Forget that. What does your heart believe in? Your heart controls your actions. So if you believe you are incapable, you are unconfident, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't speak, by God, your actions will reflect that, and your results will reflect that.
You have to believe in yourself.
You have to.
You have to be
to.
positive. And also with stammers, we should believe that we're actually more better than we are.
Yeah.
And I think we should have a purpose. Just push on. Break those barriers. Break those minds. Break the mindsets and really believe that we are perfect, you know. Everything in this world, was created by imperfection. So I take solace from that. And I think if we take solace from that, I think our beliefs are that, hey, let's just go out in the real world and really do what we are and forget that we have, or just take on mind that we have stammers, but don't really care about it. Just believe that you are actually a great individual. That's what I believe.
Yes, stop holding back.
Stop holding back.
Just stop holding back. And the final point on the hexagon is
Physical response.
/ physical state. So we could break that down. So physical state is how are you right now? Are you tired? Are you hungry? Are you vibrant? Do you have energy? That affects your stammer. When I'm tired, man, I'm more likely to stammer. Definitely, 100%. What about you?
Yeah, I think physical state is very important. You've got to eat properly, you've got to look after yourself, you've got to drink properly, you've got to stay off the alcohol, stay off the drugs, you know, and things like that. You've got to look after yourself, you've got to really care about yourself. And I think if you care about yourself, then all these problems become smaller because you're in love with yourself, you're not impacted by external stuff. You're not, for example, I've noticed that when I get hungry, things become a lot more harder. Not because they're hard, it's because my energy levels have decreased to a level which makes it harder for me to function, not just my stammer, but my brain, you know, you can't really work. So I think physical state, you have to work on it, and I think you have to take breaks and you have to eat well and you got to sleep well, and I think if you do these properly, then you become better at certain things, like you become less of a stammerer, you become whatever you want.
And physical responses, like the / is the result of all those other points. So whatever those 6 points are, physical response is the result of all of that.
Yeah, it's your mind, it's the way you think. And I think if you think properly, then stammering won't impact you, or whatever.
Yeah. And if all those points on the hexagon are negative, the physical response will be stammering. If they're all positive, it will be less stammering, or no stammering.
And I think physical state helps anybody. Anybody in this room of 100 people will get tired and things will start impacting them.
So how do these points, Ramesh, interact? How can we make our hexagon holistically positive?
You've got to work on every point. You've got to become more intentions. You've got to follow the right behavior. You've got to follow your right physical state. You've got to follow your right... everything has to be positive in the way you think.
Yeah, I would say this is my guide.
You've got to have positive beliefs. You've got to have positive behaviors, positive responses and states. These things are very important.
Yeah. So how do we make our hexagon positive? What I would do is I would always focus first on the intention, the intent. Number one thing, why are you doing what you are doing? Why do you want to become a better speaker? Why do you want to stammer less? That reason needs to be bigger than you not wanting to speak. You need a reason to do what you're doing, to work on yourself. If that reason is not big enough, you're going to be not making no progress, mate. Brutally honest, your intent is everything. So once you have the right intention, then your behaviors will become more positive. You start to take action on certain things which will deliver you better results. So I have the intent to work hard on my speech, which means I'm going to go out there.
Or to
behaviours.
clarify this further, set yourself goals
Yeah.
that you're working on.
Yeah.
Have short-term, medium-term, long-term goals that you want to achieve, and just
Yeah.
work towards them. So have intentions in your life instead of being goalless and aimless.
Yeah, so that will influence your behaviours because you start to do things. And once you start to do more positive things, what happens? Your emotions get better. How you feel about yourself gets better. And your emotional point gets a positive spike. You start to feel good.
A life is purpose and a life that should live. And a
once-
life without purpose isn't worth living.
And once you feel good, yeah, what happens? You might look after yourself a bit better. Your physical state might improve. You start to love yourself. You start to do physical things which make your body, which gives you more energy, which makes you more happier.
And that leads to positive results. You may have a better job, you may get a better living, you may drive that Bugatti that you always wanted.
Exactly. And if your physical response is positive, emotions, right intention, what happens? Your beliefs begin to change. Your beliefs, what you actually believe about yourself. You might start believing that actually I can smash life. I can overcome my stamina. I can actually do things. Then once your beliefs get positive, what happens? Your perceptions change. Or your perceptions will be changing at the same time as everything else gets positive. But your perception changes of yourself and of the world. And then you will become free over time.
And you become a better person, and you've probably got a better job. And also, I think having great perception is important because you build that inner love. Build that inner love, and you can achieve anything. I think inner love is the most important thing in life. Life is full of obstacles which are bigger than stammering. You go through your highs, you go through your lows, you go through your successes, failures, you go with life is money, you live with life with no money. But the thing is, you've got to love yourself, and you've got to perceive yourself as actually these problems aren't as big as they are. And if they are big, there are places that I can go which can help me.
One more thing I would like to add. If you're thinking, yes, okay, this is all good, the Hexagon is all good, but how do I get started? How do I start to make my own Hexagon positive? How? This is how. But you might need support. This is why I say join our community at stopholdingback.com, or join another community, Facebook, Stuttering community, or join the McGuire program, BSA, Starfish. They will help you get the initial confidence through their therapy to make you believe just enough that you can actually speak better. Once you have that foundation of confidence that you can actually speak better, I'm telling you, get into the Hexagon, you will be free. It doesn't mean you're going to be cured. You might always stammer, but trust me, you're not going to hold back.
Something comes to my mind here. When I was young, or 15 years ago, I got in touch with the BSA, and I think the BSA helped me a lot. I think they're part of my initial recovery because I met people like Norbert Lickfeld, Alan Tyra, I met people like David Vittler, Andrew Harding, Jacqueline. I met those great people at the BSA, and I think I started to embrace the BSA, and I thought that that was a great place for me because I met people in the first time in my life around the age of 21 where there was some support for people who stammer. So I think that was part of my initial recovery. And also Cherry Hughes, the education officer at the BSA, she's helped me a lot. And I think writing articles for the BSA, Ramaswam and BSA, type it in, and I think this really helped me. And I think the BSA, being young and having no idea about other people stammering, really helped me, and it helped my journey towards stammering. And also, on the note of this video, it's sad to see that Norbert Lickfeld is now moving on from the BSA, but I think he's done a lot of many great things for the BSA. He's been part of the Employer Stammering Network, he's done a lot, and I really would like to thank him for his great work at the BSA.
Yeah, please get involved on Facebook, Stuttering Community, BSA, stopholdingback.com, get involved. What helps is support. It's very difficult to overcome stammering on your own. in my opinion, very difficult. Get the support, take action. Once you get a confidence, once you get a little bit of confidence, you got a foundation, that's it, mate.
Yeah, because once you build that foundation, you can go on either to help other stammerers or help other people. But I think just build that foundation. I think that's very important, because then when you've self-accepted, when you've done all these great things, then you can help other people or do whatever you want in life. Having that foundation is very important, though.
I have a stammer, and I block every day. Every day I have a block. Difference is, I do not allow the blocks to affect my confidence. I have disassociated my confidence from my stammer. That took a long time, and I took effort and lots of support from other people. I could not have done it on my own, never. I needed Ramash's help. I needed Simon Bailey's help. I needed Ruben Pillai's help. I needed Mustafa Cham's help. Man, I needed help. So don't be ashamed to ask for help. Ask for help.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in other organisations like Maguire, where I've met Ayo Adesanya, Lee Mashali, Alex Kuzmenko, and also people like Mustafa Cham, people like James Kaplan, people like Laura Ludmanay. These have all been great names which have helped me. And I think having people like that, having a support network within any organisation, BSA, Maguire, or even Starfish. Starfish myself, some great people out there. Know some great people on Maguire, on Starfish.
Sam Burton from Starfish, excellent guy. Hopefully I will be going to another Starfish workshop. We should all work together, man. Damn.
And I think
you're stammer.
We should all work together, and I think there is one cause, but there's many organisations, so we feel divided as such because we are loyal to our organisations. But
no, forget that, man.
I think that should be forgotten, because I think as a whole we are stammerers, and as a whole I think we should support each other and really build that unity, build that community, and this is something that AO will achieve, and I'm fully behind him.
Yeah, 100% money back guarantee. StopHoldingBack.com. Thank you for having us, and bye for
now.